Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer! Let's go! Picked off by Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala to the rim. Oh, great block! James out of nowhere, skies to the rim. Well, Manny being Manny.
Manny being Manny, man. He's great, man.
Welcome, Luca Nation, to episode 2 of my weekly auction recap / preview. Today we're going to go a little bit over PWCC, some of Golden news, and liquid auctions that just went live last night. This show is going to be more of a preview type show. Next week I'll be recapping what I discussed today. So let's get started. PWCC Premier Auctions. This auction ends April 16th on Sunday. These are some of the cards that I'm kind of comparing. We have Zion, National Treasures. It's out of 10. BGS 9, of course. And then we have Jason Tatum, BGS 9. That's also out of 10. The reason why I'm curious about these two cards is because while looking at it, it seems like Zion is trending more to be more expensive than Jason Tatum, which I do understand, but in the same aspect, I don't understand. Jason Tatum gets no love in the hobby. And let's get like into it, and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's go to right here. We have Dion Williamson. And this is card ladder data. We have last sold was around $78,000. It's minus 23% growth rate. And then we could go, let's see Jason Tatum's. Pull that one up for you guys. Jason Tatum right here. We have Jason Tatum sold for 19.5. And these are actually both these ones that I brought up are out of 99. So the out of 10 is going to be a little bit more. But as you could see, the difference of pricing between the National Treasures out of 99, the RPAs. And I was curious on what you guys thought about that. Jason Tatum is actually putting up really good numbers this year. He has his team into the playoffs. They play the Brooklyn Nets, which I don't know if they're going to make it past the Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, Boston fans. But if we look at Jason Tatum's stats, he is 7th overall in points at 26.9, 8 rebounds a game. Him and Jaylen Brown on that team have been actually doing very well the second half of the season. The first half of the season, it looked rough for these two, but they picked it up. I actually like Jason Tatum. He has that Kobe mentality, you could say. He's always he's a killer, trying to win every game. And that's why I don't understand. Maybe you guys could tell me in the comments why Jason Tatum gets no love in the hobby. Let's go back. And that's why I have these two on Premier WC, the Premier PWCC auction. Currently, I'll pull that up as well. Let me pull that up. If we go here, here's our Premier auction. Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's out of 10 right here. This card is sitting at current bid $44,000. It's 1 out of 2, just 3 graded higher out of this 10 out of 10. Then we go into Dion Williamson. And Zion out of 10 is at $65,000. So there's a big difference between these two players. One hasn't played all year. The other one's averaging 7th best in the league. I just think, I know people are high on Zion to come back and get that uptick of selling as he's coming back, the hype of it. But when you're looking at investing long-term, and that gradual increase, I think Jason Tatum might be the play here. That could trickle down. I know these are national treasures out of 10 and out of 99 is what we're looking at. But even look at like rookie, just silver rookies. Zion's a little, like, I feel the base, of course, is down, but you could go into like numbered Jason Tatum's that are probably the same price as Zion. So the entry point for Jason Tatum would probably be the play here. I know, like I said, he might get knocked out in a week or so. So his cards might drop even lower. Just be on a lookout for that. All right. And then we want another two auctions that I'm kind of observing are the comparison of Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert. And these are both 9.5s out of 99, the true RPAs. The only thing that's different is Joe Burrow, of course, his patch looks like a napkin, and Justin Herbert has that 3-colored patch. So that could make a big difference in this comparison. I guess I wouldn't know what ratio that could be in effect, but if Joe Burrow comes as close as Herbert with that ugly napkin patch, it'd be very surprising to me. And I know Joe Burrow just came off a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert didn't make the playoffs. So I'm curious on what the market thinks of these two quarterbacks going into next season. Let me pull this up on PWCC, and we can take a look at that. So we go Justin Herbert. And his BGS 9.5 out of 99 is sitting at 100,000. And then, so 100,000 for that card current. There is population of 1 of 12. There's none that are actually grade higher, but there are 12 of them out there. Joe Burrow. Let's see. That one's out of 25. And here's his out of 99, 9.5. You also have this one that's a 9. I wanted to keep the same grade when comparing this. This is at 19,000. So almost 80,000, 79,000, or 80,000, 81,000 more for that Justin Herbert than the Joe Burrow. And I get the napkin look, and Justin Burrow has the 3-colored patch, but does that really matter as much as a $81,000 swing? Let me know in the comments. And with these auctions, I'm definitely gonna be going back through them next week and kind of tell you guys my thoughts on the final prices. So just be aware, it'll be end of next week where I'll go over that. And then I want to pull up, before we get on to the next subject, let's pull up what they sold in the past via card ladder. So the Justin Herbert out of 99 3-color patch sold for 125,000. Card ladder value has it almost at 200,000. There's no sales on this card, so this is going to be one of the. It looks like there was a last sale actually, but there's no rate of growth here. We'll see all this information by next week and where this card is valued. Like I said, it's at 100,000, so we'll see there. And then we also want to get into the Joe Burrow. So let's kind of take a peek at the Joe Burrow card and see where that is. And the reason I'm doing this is because you could kind of, when you compare these two type of players, you could kind of see where do you want to go in if you're starting off in the hobby, the Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert. There's always a comparison between the two. One, like I said, one went to the Super Bowl, one didn't make the playoffs. This one is sitting at 156,000. And that was last sold. Card ladder value has it 155. So 50,000 less than the Herbert. And I'm curious on what you guys think of this. This Joe Burrow actually made the Super Bowl. So I would assume that this would be actually higher. And this is 156,000, but it's also the 3-colored patch. So that Joe Burrow with the napkin probably is going to go a lot less than that. But let's see next week. let's go back to here, and that's the premier auction. There's a lot of good cards on the premier auction. We could take a kind of a little short scroll if you want. Let's do that right now. Let's go back to that premier auction, and we'll get rid of that. And they're featured on lot 1. It seems like this Tom Brady out of 100 BGS 85 auto. It's going for 950. This one's going to break $1 million. You have the Steph Curry 9.5 at 600,000. And as I'm scrolling through, is there like, comment below if there's ever like your grail card, what would it be? Mine actually would probably, I don't know. It has to be some type of Kobe insert. I like to take it to the net insert, and that would probably be my kind of grail. I'm curious on this Marvel card. I saw it's out of 10, and everyone knows the news this week. The Marvel PMGs just tanked. So I'm curious. It's at 8,000 right now. I'm curious what this would end at. This is a population 1. No other grades that are higher. And this premier auction has 324 assets to this, so there's a lot to look at. If you have a chance, just go through and kind of scroll through on what you want to see. You get a lot of information just by looking at these premier auctions. For example, like how the soccer market's doing, how's Luka's market, and I brought that up last week. I think Luka's market could be close to a floor, in my opinion, and we could go into that. Let's go into the weekly auctions. So like I said, the weekly auctions, they end every Sunday. They actually came out with a new feature for weekly auctions. If you're a vault owner for PWCC, you could they changed the deadline for this. They're calling it the flash auction, which is a deadline Wednesday at 11:59. This is only 4 days before closing because they close every Sunday. They did this because, say, for example, like this week, Vlad Guerrero hit 3 home runs and you didn't put it in this week's auction. This gives the seller an opportunity to put it in on this flash auction to probably get more for your card. So it gives it a little perk for the seller on this aspect. They also added this into the weekly auction flash, and it seems like there's always like around 50 to 60. I'm sure there's going to be more with the coming weeks, but I did see a couple Vlad cards in this flash auction. So what happened is probably hit the 3 home runs and they're like, this is the time to sell it. Let me put it in this flash auction. All right. There's one card that's in PWCC and liquid auction that I'm curious on what the sales comparison would be, because when I'm looking at selling a card, I want to go to the place where I'm going to get the most value, right? And that's why I brought this up. We have an orange out of 49 PSA 10. You have one at PWCC, one at liquid auctions. The last sold was 102,000. Card ladder value has it at 94,000. And let's just take a look at what they're actually going for right now. I know Alt just had their they just released their liquid auction last night, so it's probably not nowhere near the PWCC auctions, but we could take a look. Let's go into the PWCC auction, and Luka. And here it is. It's at 70,000 right now. There's only 14 of these out of 49. So this one's at 70,000. This is another one on the Premier auction that I'm going to keep a look at. I will let you guys know the results next week, because what I want to do with these auctions is do a preview week and then go back through and kind of do a recap of what I was talking about the week previous. So let's look at what it is at and I think that they would actually, I believe they would actually sell around the same, but there is some value in going into one route to the other route. Get into alt. here's all. And this has 6 days left. So for PWCC ends on Sunday, the premier auction, and all ends on next Thursday. This one's out of 49 out of 49. It is currently, there's 7 bids, so it's gained some traction. Alt value has it at 85,000, so a little bit less than card ladder value. And it's sitting at, like I said, 4,000 with 7 days or 6 days left. There's one thing when I had the interview with Only Alt, and they were saying that they don't, card ladder doesn't report their sales. So that's why I kind of want to do this comparison, because card ladder doesn't have any data from Only Alt right as of right now. Let's go back. Now let's get into the liquid auction. Like I said, it ends next Thursday, and I picked out 4 cards. I went through and picked out 4 cards that I'm actually interested in. And I'll give you a background on why I'm interested in it. And please, in the comments, let me know if I'm crazy for even being interested in these players. Let me know if they're good buys. Just give me some feedback. That would be very nice on these type, because I'm learning just as you guys are. Well, for baseball, I'm looking at Mookie Betts, and they have a Mookie Betts 9.5 Bowman first auto. And I know when you get an auto of a baseball card, you want to get the Bowman. And I think Mookie Betts is very slept on in the hobby. He has 2 World Series, one with the Red Sox, one with the Dodgers. He's putting up great stats. I know the Dodgers lineup is very stacked, so it seems like he's kind of gotten forgotten through that lineup. But I think long-term, you want Mookie Betts, and that's why I'm trying to get Mookie Betts right now, because it could be too late if Dodgers win another championship, and he was heavily involved in winning that championship. Pedri, soccer card. I am into soccer as well. Barcelona, they just got knocked out of Europa League yesterday. But this guy, he's going to be, him and Gavi are going to be studs for Barcelona. Watching him play is amazing. And I want to get his cards now before he blows up and becomes the Haaland of the hobby or the Dusan. A lot of people are still trying to buy Mbappe's. I'm going away from that and trying to get Pedri's, which Pedri prices aren't cheap, I should say. A lot of people do like Pedri being in the Barcelona market, but right now that's what I'm targeting for soccer. Basketball, Andrew's been pushing it on me, and I finally folded. I need to get a Giannis auto, and I would like the auto with the full name. And the reason is if he wins again, like he said, he could go down as one of the best players ever. He's 27, 28, I believe. Could have a second championship, and he seems to be getting better every year. He's better than last year. So I think it's time to get Giannis cards and listen to Andrew. And then for football, I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor cards, actually, because Colts have the number one not number one. They have like one of the best offensive lines. I'm not sure if it's number one or not, but they do have one of the best offensive lines. Their defense is good. They just got Matt Ryan, which, yeah, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It seems like they're going to be relying a lot on Jonathan Taylor, and people are looking right now into baseball and basketball. You get Jonathan Taylor now, you sell him off at July, August time frame, or if you believe him, because he's going to be one of the best running backs. He's going to get, I feel like, Derrick Henry numbers. You could keep him, but I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor cards right now. And these are the 4 cards for liquid auctions that I'm going to be looking at. I feel like I screwed myself by telling everyone, but I do like these cards. And I want to bring this up. I post this. This was off my Instagram. I posted probably the beginning of the week. This was a liquid auction sale. I talked about this card actually last week, and I wanted to kind of do a recap of what I was talking about. This is where I was saying that Luka's market may be hitting the floor, and it might be time to buy. This card sold for $27,000. From this in February, it was selling at $38,000, so it's like a negative 29% growth rate. And in my eyes, if I had the money, I would be buying this type of card because Luka could have, I know he has a calf strain, but it takes one game, and he'd go off for 50 games and lead the Mavs to beating the Jazz and putting up a good run on the Phoenix Suns if they were to play. I believe in this team. I'm a Mavs fan. I do love Luka. The one thing I don't like about him is he does cry a lot to the ref, but if he get that situated, he's still young. He might be the face of the NBA in a couple of years when LeBron leaves. And right now his market's going down so much. People have forgotten about him. They want him. I think they got tired of buying Luka cards, and maybe they got the base and it went down so much that they're over Luka, but we need to start thinking about getting Luka cards as soon as possible. Let's talk about Golden. Golden has released their newest auction, and Jackie Robinson Day is actually today. Everyone's wearing 42 in the MLB. He's actually releasing the 75th anniversary Jackie Robinson, which includes some game-worn, game-used bats, documents, cards, and much more. And I think I saw this showcase at Collectible at the Mint Collective. So if this is the same thing, it's amazing pieces, and I wish I could actually see him in person again and hold him. It's actually, when you look at the bat and how the bat structure back then compared to now, it's insane. Also, they released Zero Cool Gary V's V-Friend cards. There's a couple of them that have, for example, in the picture, it's PSA 10, Auto 10 of the elephant. That just went up. I'm curious on what that goes for. I know there's been problems with like people shilling and then the prices drop back down. So I am curious on what this would sell for, these V-Friend cards on a Golden auction site. And then I wanted to talk briefly about this Golden Age auction because Tiger Woods went to the played in the Masters last weekend, and his 2001 iron sold for $5 million, which is insane if you think about it. He's one of the best, right? I don't know what are you going to do with the golf clubs here. I don't know how you would display them or anything, but to each their own. I'm a card guy, but I just wanted to bring this up that Tiger Woods, there's other auctions here, and if you're a golfer, Golden Age Auctions has a lot of memorabilia, golf memorabilia, and they're setting records with this irons selling for $5 million. And that's all I have for this week's episode. Next week, I will be recapping what those Zion, Jason Tatum, the comparisons, the same with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. I do want to keep an eye on the Luka market because playoffs are starting, and I'm just going to keep my eyes on any trends or tips that I could give you guys. And let me know if there's anything you want to see, any auctions. Like I said before, if you have any cards that you're selling on these auctions, let me know, and we can review them on this show. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.